Tom here again. Third vlog thingy, whatever. It's been about a month since the last time I videoed myself. I'm on Bulls Bay right now, and as you can see from the beginning of the video, that's the first emergence hole I found here. I walked the entire beach trail and about 2 miles up the northeast beach, and that's the first emergence hole I've seen. This tree is pretty burnt, and the emergence hole is all the way near the bottom. It's about a 3-meter tree. So there's all these other palmettos around here, and all these palmettos on the beach up there, and no emergence holes, which I find strange. I think it might have to do with the fact that this is so remote and there's very little human interference, well, except for the management practices that they have to do to maintain the habitat. There is just no emergence holes. And I found emergence holes on Isle of Palms, albeit those were on transplanted trees, and I don't think there was a surviving population there. So that back there is the northmost emergence hole I found from Zagymnus. Well, since last time, I don't know if I said, but I'm pretty sure their life cycle is 1 year. I harvested some boots from palmettos in my own yard that had emergence holes on them and cut them all open, and I did not find a single larva or pupa or adult or any sign of a live Zagymnus, just emergence holes. And some of those emergence holes were fresh. And I even opened boots that did not have emergence holes. I think most of the ones I opened didn't, because I didn't expect to find larvae in the unopened ones. I didn't find a single living specimen. So to me, that suggests that their life cycle is only 1 year, because if all of the larvae emerge end of May, early June, and come out as adults, breed, and lay eggs, then they shouldn't have any larvae remaining in the boots during the flight period. So I'll have to do that study again on a much larger sample size of boots. I only harvested 11 from my trees, 4 with emergence holes, 6 without, because that's all I wanted to pull off the tree in case there really is a population there. I don't want to cripple them. But so far, all the best places I found for Zagymnus are places where I can harvest boots. Botany Bay and the North Folly Heritage Preserve Morris Island Lighthouse thing. So that preserve there on Folly Beach particularly is very saturated. There's several emergence holes on every single tree. So far I have found evidence of Zagymnus all the way up the coast from Edisto Beach all the way to here, and everywhere in between I found Zagymnus. So I guess the next stop is Huntington Beach and McClellanville. I'll update you if you find anything else cool. One more thing. I went to Fort Moultrie the other day, and there's some nice looking palmettos all around the fort and the visitor center and that parking lot. And I only found one emergence hole on one very large tree in the parking lot, and that was it. Next door, on the edge of some private property, I found 4 scraggly looking trees, 3 of them with emergence holes. So Fort Moultrie is very well maintained. The grass there is mowed constantly, and there's I saw about 7 bluebirds with freshly hatched young roosting and nesting in the palmetto fronds. So I think something about that type of habitat, which is generally the kind of habitat these trees get transplanted to for landscaping, is not suitable for Zagymnus. Something about the constant mowing of the surrounding vegetation, or the high presence of bluebirds, or maybe some other factor that I can't even comprehend at the moment, is leading to them being unable to successfully utilize that available habitat. So I'm not sure it's the bluebirds, because the adults are very aposematically colored. I mean, textbook, they're black and red, and an obvious black and red on a fairly large beetle. You don't do that unless you're trying to give a warning, or you're just desperate, mimicking something. So I don't know how common toxicity is in cerambycids. I would assume not very, since this species in particular only spends a very small time as an adult. But then again, being toxic when you're only flying for a month out of the year, and that's your only chance to breed, may be worth the investment. I don't know. I'll have to look into that. I'd have to collect enough adults and try and feed them to things in order to see if they eat it and die, or do a chemical analysis on them or something I'm not qualified to do and don't have the money for. But it's out there for the future. Also, and Fort Moultrie has been maintained like that since at least 1989. So I'm thinking, if I can find when they stopped doing that, or when they started maintaining around Fort Moultrie, which could be the 40s for all I know, this probably gives me my theoretical maximum for when the species would have entered that area, Sullivan's Island. So I'll have to investigate that further. I'll have to get some ortho photos off of NRCS and look at those in GIS program. Also, Botany Bay, which is very heavily infested, did not become a WMA until 2008. So who knows what could have been going on. I'm sure the owners were selling palmettos when they cleared land, or giving them away, or just letting people take them. Because I know my uncle took some in the 70s. And Botany Bay didn't become, in about 2007, they lost a good 50 feet of beach, and that's when that boneyard beach, like that, first developed. So I believe that's what exposed proper habitat for Zagymnus, like that palmetto back there I was showing you. So it could have also been the stress that put a strain on the trees, caused them to deteriorate faster because they weren't used to being in full sun, in full wind, and full salt, which could have further advanced them, made them even better habitat. So, from what I can tell, Zagymnus has probably been here since before 2002, definitely 2005. But I'll have to check around, see if I can find some historical evidence of it somewhere. Tom here. I only found that one emergence hole. I went to the southwest end of the beach. There's no palmettos down this way, except the one's way over there in the hammock, but I can't get over there because of the dunes and because it's hot and I don't feel like it. So if I only saw one emergence hole on the beach trail and walking about 2 miles or so up the northeast end of the beach, to me that says that this may be the northernmost extent of their range, Zagymnus clerinus. So maybe they require some level of disturbance that they're not getting from here. So Bull Island all the way up to Santee Coastal, it's all protected beach. It's not very inhabited, if at all. So it may just not be suitable habitat here. Maybe the prescribed fire in this island hammock is preventing them from establishing and moving up the coastline. I don't know. For all I know, they could have been transplanted up there into Myrtle Beach. They're actually probably all over Myrtle Beach. But I have to find an excuse to drive all the way up to Myrtle Beach to check that. Maybe someday in the future. And need to check Huntington State Park too. That's probably a really good place for them. Alright, well, that's probably the end of vlog 3.